police is currently on a manhunt. We heard from the Northern Regional Minister on that. There's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. I am MFA Pao. Thanks so much for your company. Stay home, stay safe. Once you stop moving, the virus will also stop moving.
Oh, stay in your house, so this thing no go last long, and our lives they go back to normal.
When you want it, just Momo it. When you tire for the long queue in the supermarket, just Momo it. And when you really want that beautiful new blouse too, just Momo it. And when you won't get that trim, when you go get fresh to impress, you know who, just Momo it. And when you need to pay that your utility bill and domestic staff set, just Momo it. And when you want send love to the family for back home, just Momo it. So many ways there. When you go use your MTN Momo wallet or make payments with scan to pay. When you go use the QR code, or you go use the merchant ID or on bank POS terminals. You go also transfer money between mobile money wallets and bank account, all on MTN Momo. Enjoy real convenience in all your financial transactions and live life the brighter way with MTN Momo. We are good together. Just Momo it. We're there for you everywhere you go.
It's a new day. Are you ready to make a change? A new partner to journey your way, to explore the things you never imagined. You're ahead of the race. Civil service, committed to you. A partner for life, yeah. Come back, we'll go the distance with you. No matter the problem, we'll brighten your day. Transform your life now.
Forward together. Easter is here again. We know you love Easter and we do too. Electroland Ghana Limited wants you to have and enjoy those quality moments with family in a home that has everything in the mega Easter promotion. With all the great discounts, family entertainment looks better on our best-selling 32-inch NASCO Smart TV for just 699 Ghana cedis. A cool home is a comfortable one, and our inverter AC starts at 1,999 Ghana cedis. Washing machine for 1,299 Ghana cedis. The media double-door fridge for your drinks and food for just 999 Ghana cedis. The freezer for 949 Ghana cedis. The cooker for 799 Ghana cedis. And the 25-liter microwave for 599 Ghana cedis. And not just that, you get to win gifts such as blenders, AC and fridge guards, and so much more. Fill your home with all the love this Easter and spend quality time with family with the help of Electroland Mega Easter Promotion. Visit any of our showrooms nationwide. Electroland cares a lot about you, so don't forget to stay safe this Easter.
From the camp of Liaison Legacy Productions comes the game show that presents to you what you think you know, that you don't know, but you think you know, but you don't know what you know.
Continue the lyric of this song. I-W-I-L-L-W-E.
Wait, like, am I supposed to feel the dash?
Confused yet? Watch innocent souls compete for the chance to win various cash prizes with your most eccentric quizmaster.
Poisonous calamity, guess you will keep.
Infectious, dangerous, something.
DJ TFT, do you have it?
Poisonous calamity, guess you will keep. Infectious gravity straight to your grave. Polygamous entity don't fornicate. But them come manage it from a congresso. If you ever walk grass and in swato, you my motum sama pompabo.
Thank you very much, DJ TFT Pasako. Please, what is the meaning of that? Poisonous calamity, guess you will keep. Infectious gravity straight to your grave. Polygamous entity.
What don't you know? Starting 21st March at 5 p.m.
Joy Prime, real entertainment.
Most of us have had this experience.
I was sitting in Trotro, and I could see that the mate was fighting over a change that the passenger was asking for. So the passenger was like, mate, where's my change? And then the passenger was like, the mate was like, I don't have the change now, so I have to get down and go and change, and then therefore give your money. How much was the change? It was just 20 pesos.
That God entrepreneur, Due Prince Nwe, to work on Viton Pay, a platform that allows users make payment at the fuel station and for transport services. That's our feature this Wednesday on the Joy Business Van.
Go into Viton Pay app,
you go to scan QR code, you scan to pay, you click on it, and then it picks the QR code, you enter the amount, then you make the payment.
The push for a cashless society is on. Viton Pay on the Joy Business Van this Wednesday on TV, radio, online, and on ground. It is powered by Joy Business and supported by EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Motorcycles are also vehicles and so are governed by the regulations that govern all vehicles. Always ensure that as a rider, you obey the road signs and markings, stop at red lights, and do not ride against traffic. Wear your helmet always. This Arrive Alive weekly message is brought to you by Joy FM, Joy News, and the National Road Safety Authority.
Bringing hope to many around the globe, transforming lives into legacies. Living Word with Pastor Mensa Otabil. And now, today's word.
So I believe that in the midst of this enemy, in the presence of this enemy, God is preparing a table before us. Opportunities, ideas, new things are going to happen. Obviously, we all know our world is never going to be the same after this. There's going to be an explosion of science and technology because we've been threatened so much. Mankind is going to explode with new inventions and new ideas, and things are going to be dramatically better than they were before. That is the table that God is preparing for us in the presence of your enemy, and you have to pick your portion of that. Don't go through this and suffer all this and go and live your life as it was. There is a table being prepared before you, and you must banquet at that table of the Lord. And I believe this message is for us Ghanaians. For the first time, our enemy is not a witch. It's not a wizard. It's not an old lady sitting in a village. It's a virus that has to be defeated with calculated action. And I pray that we keep that as our focus, that our enemy is bigger than that old person in your village. As a matter of fact, your enemy is greater than your political opponent. Your enemy is greater than your cousin or your boss at the office. There are bigger issues that are big enemies, and we must confront those enemies. In the midst of all of these, I believe that God wants us to see the table that he's preparing before us in the presence of our enemies. Sometimes in crisis like this, we only see the enemy. We don't see the opportunity. It's amazing that though many are dying and many are being infected, many are also recovering. And what surprises me is the story of recovery all over the world is not shared. More people are recovering than are dying. Of course, any one person that dies is horrendous, must not be countenanced, and we must be sad for any human being to be lost. But we must not let the sadness cripple our joy at those who are being redeemed and those who are being saved and those who are recovering. So whilst we are talking about the enemy and his danger, we must also look at the table that is being prepared before us in the presence of our enemies. It's not all doom and gloom. It's not all about destruction. In the midst of all the doom, in the midst of all the gloom, God's light is still shining. The presence of God is still with us right before this horrific enemy that we are all dealing with you. So today I ask you, do you see the table that God is preparing before you in the presence of your enemies? Do you see the big opportunity that God is opening before you? There are going to be new levels of business, new businesses. There are going to be new things to be done. For us in Ghana, for example, this crisis can help us to focus properly to solve our outstanding international problems. And when I say outstanding, I mean standing out. It means that these are problems we've left never solved. Problems like sanitation, problems like hygiene, problems like city planning, problems like employment, industrialization, science and technology, how to minimize poverty. These are the enemies we must be dealing with. And in the midst of this crisis, we're going to find opportunity to resolve some of these problems and the courage to resolve them. It is called, I will prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemies. I was listening to a news item and somebody was saying that based on the new protocols we're developing, the hygienes and so on, they would not be surprised if we are able to eliminate the common flu and cold because they're all transmitted through the same process. So in the presence of our enemy, God is preparing a table before us. Can you see the opportunity he's given us as humanity to improve our lives, to make our lives better? Yes, it took an enemy to rally us. And yes, it may take an enemy to rally you. You know, when these times come, you find you're coughing more than you don't know whether it's your mind or whatever. But when the enemy is coming against you, you have to discover new strength. I remember when I was a little boy, as happens to many Ghanaian boys and probably in Africa, we go hunting for fruit. And the easiest fruit is mangoes. And it was mango season. And there was a gentleman in our neighborhood who had a house with wall. Most of us didn't have walls, but he was rich, so-called, and he had a wall, and he had a mango tree, and his mangoes were always ripe, and he didn't pluck them, and we thought it was our responsibility to relieve him of the burden of having ripe mangoes unplucked. So we donated our services to his house to go and take his mangoes. And so we were in his house when he had gone to work, and we were kids plucking mangoes, and all of a sudden there was a big dog barking. And the dog started barking and started running. And we were kids, I think probably 8, 9, and people were calling their mothers and their papas and so on and so forth. And I remember so well because I was up on the tree. I came down and started running, but the house was walled, not with cement wall, but with hedges. And for some reason that I can't explain up till now, I jumped those hedges. And one moment there was a dog barking behind me. Next moment, a table was prepared in the presence of my enemies. I just jumped the hedges. Now what happened? Did I know I could jump that high? By the way, I haven't jumped that high since then. But did I know I could? No. What made me jump was danger. The presence of my enemy made me dig deep inside myself to discover strength I never thought I had. In this moment, God will help you to discover strength you never thought you had, abilities you never thought you had, opportunities that you had never seen. And for us Ghanaians, we will begin to control our destiny in a way we have never done before. So the impression you get from the 23rd Psalm is that the enemies in the valley of the shadow of death are necessary. They are important. God uses their presence to prepare a banquet before you. What is life without enemies? What is life without danger? What is life without feeling threatened? Because it is in those moments that you marshal all your strength to survive and to win. And I believe this is one such moment. As I said last week, I believe for the countries and the nations of the so-called third world, this is our greatest moment, because we are about to take a leap over walls. Yes, other nations will run, but the greatest social transformation, I believe, is going to come in the so-called third world nations, because for once we will be shocked not to depend on anybody again, because the people we depended on are dying and they can't keep themselves safe. We have to learn in this valley of the shadow of death, before these enemies, that God is preparing a table before us in the presence of our enemies. There are certain opportunities that are only seen in a time of danger. And I pray that God will open your eyes to those opportunities. That God would let you see opportunity and not doom. Yes, you feel your life is under threat, but your future is also opening right before your eyes. Yes, you feel like maybe you may die, but life is staring you right in front of your face. And I pray for you that life will be your portion. And today, as we celebrate communion, may the protection of Christ be ours. May he preserve us. May he uphold us. May he deliver us. May he set us apart from chaos and destruction. May his blood be a mark on your forehead as you go through the darkness of our time. May the enemy see the blood of Jesus upon you and flee away from you. As we celebrate this communion, may life become your portion and may God sustain you. And the psalmist goes on and concludes that in the same before the enemy, not only does God prepare a table before us, but he anoints our head with oil. That is a statement of favor, that he will favor you. He will treat you well. And may God favor you. May he anoint your head with oil. May God set you apart for outstanding miracles, for miracles of deliverance, for miracles of breakthrough, for favor on every side. And then he says, my cup will run over. That speaks of increase and abundance, overflow. Isn't it amazing that in the presence of the enemy, he's having an overflow? In the presence of the enemy, he's having favor. May that be your portion also, that in the presence of the enemy, you have an overflow. In the presence of the enemy, you have favor. And he concludes to say, truly, truly, surely, goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. Not enemies following me all the days of my life. Yes, we feel like COVID-19 is following us, but look about you, look around you, look behind you. That's not what is following you. It is goodness and mercy follow you. May goodness and mercy rest upon your household. May goodness and mercy rest upon your family. May goodness and mercy rest upon your children. May goodness and mercy rest upon your business. May goodness and mercy follow you all the days of your life. And the psalmist concludes, because of all of that, I commit to dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Don't seek the Lord only to defeat your enemy and forget about him. After the Lord has provided for you in the time of the enemy, you must seek to dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Today we have opportunity to partake of the Lord's table. We call it communion. But it's also called the Lord's table. God is preparing a table before us in the presence of our enemies. And as we